It's not recorded.
It's recording now. Okay. So my lines take place at the beginning of the epic. It details like the background of Grendel's battles against Hrothgar and the pain and suffering that he caused on the people. So Grendel held sway and fought against right. Alone against all, to the best of houses, was left idle. A long time passed, 12 winters all told, while the Lord of the Shieldings endured great grief, every kind of woe, a surging of sorrows. Thus to the nations, both far and wide, it became known through tales sadly sung, that Grendel fought a long while against Hrothgar, waged his terrors wicked and fearsome, for many half years in unending strife. He did not desire peace with any warrior of the Danish host, nor to lift the life threat in return for payment. Thus again and again, this foe of mankind, this friendless horror, carried out a host of crimes, of hard humiliations. He held sway in Heorot. Okay, so throughout my section, I noticed there were four main literary elements, the first of which was alliteration. And so at the beginning, it's saying that Grendel fought alone against all, which has the repetition of the A sound. And then again, when it's talking about Hrothgar's pain and suffering, it says that he encountered like a surging of sorrows. And so those are just two examples from the text, but there are more. I also noticed Sisera, and an example of that was when it says, till the best of houses, pause, was left idle. And so there's a few of those in the text, but that's just an example of one. Another is there are a few epithets. The first one was the Lord of the Shieldings, which refers to Hrothgar. And then the second was in reference to Grendel when it says that he was a foe of mankind, this friendless horror. And when I read that, I also noticed that it was almost a direct characterization of Grendel because he is a foe of mankind. You know, he's a monster, and so I thought that sort of fit him. And also there was repetition in the text, and at the beginning it says that Grendel held sway and fought against right. And then at the end it says that he held sway in Heorot, so it's the repetition of that held sway phrase. Also, there were some references to Anglo-Saxon culture in the text. And the first one that I noticed was that the stories of Grendel were passed through tales sadly sung. And during that time, telling stories orally, speaking stories, they didn't write anything down. And so that was how they passed on information, was through telling tales. And so that fit the text. And also it says that he fought for many half years in unending strife. And obviously today we don't say anything like half years, but half years referred to winters or years during that time. And also I noticed that during that time, Anglo-Saxons, they valued money, and so that translates into the text, like the kings were very loyal to their money. And so it says that Hrothgar even tried to pay Grendel off to lift the life threat in return for payment. So he tried to give him an amount of riches to try to get him to stop, but he wouldn't do it. And we also noticed that in the text with Beowulf, that he would try to offer him riches for his allegiance or something like that. So that's what I noticed about my text.